Hey guys, Dave Ramsey here. I'm here with the COO of Churchill Mortgage, Matt Clarke. Matt and I have been friends for a very long time, and we've had a 25-year relationship between Ramsey and Churchill Mortgage. We are in the midst of wild and crazy out there right now. We got inflation, we got interest rates, we got shortages, we got house prices spiking. So I thought we ought to sit down and talk about this. And this is a good time to talk about it. Matt is really on top of the data on this stuff, and I'm certainly aware of the concepts around it, but I think it's information you guys need right now. We have an inventory problem.
We have a serious inventory problem. Demand significantly outweighs supply right now. We have people in the market looking for houses, and there just doesn't seem to be any houses for sale.
No, there's like 80, 90 offers on a house when it comes on the market in some markets.
Yeah,
some of these cities out there have gone bananas.
It seems like every city has gone bananas, and if you're not buying with cash and you're not willing to overspend, you're really struggling to get a house offer accepted. The myth is housing sales are down. Housing sales are actually up. We're seeing an increase in sales year over year over year.
Number of units.
The number of units are up. The problem is the length of time they sit in the market is down about half of what it normally is, and the inventory is significantly lower than a healthy housing market.
It's kind of picked over a little too.
It's very much.
Some of the stuff that's left is the bones.
Well, I mean, there's less than 2 months worth of supply in the market when a normal housing market would have a little over 6 months worth of supply.
Yeah. Well, and for those of you, you know your basic econ, right? Anytime that there's a huge number of buyers after a few number of goods, the thing that automatically happens is that drives price up.
It does.
And so any kind of inventory shortage in any product or good out there makes the price go up. And so that's what's happening here. And it's really been not just a COVID phenomenon, it's been an ongoing trend. I mean, we peaked on housing starts with new housing like a decade ago, right?
Yeah, so we went, call it early 2000s, we saw a significant decline of new starts starting around 2004, and that continued all the way into around 2012, 2013, and it's just slowly catching back up right now.
Yeah, but it's way below. The number of new housing units coming on the market's way below 2004 numbers.
Oh, way below.
And the population continues to come at these houses. Millennials are entering the market, and everybody's got to have a house. And so this white hot fever. So how do you navigate that kind of a market from a mortgage perspective? I know Churchill helps people get ready for that.
Well, one, you have to have a plan, right? The Bible says a wise man foresees danger and plans for it. You have to have a plan going in to this market. So one of the things Churchill does is we make sure that we sit down and look at your budget, and we do a full underwrite on your credit prior to you even finding a house, so that when you go out and look for a house, it's almost like you're buying with cash because there aren't any contingencies for getting your loan approved.
Now, we used to in the old days, we did pre-approvals. This is beyond pre-approved. This is all the way into certified.
Pre-approvals are not worth the paper that they're written on. A certified home buyer means an underwriter has actually fully looked at your file and approved you for a particular home. The other thing we do is we know that it's going to take a while for you to find a house. So we have what we call a rate secured program, which allows you to lock in for 90 days with a float down option. So if rates go down, you get the lower rate. If they don't, you're protected, which is especially important right now with rates going up as quickly as they have.
So they can get completely approved and certified for a certain loan amount without having selected the home.
Correct.
And lock down their rates. And if the rates float down, they get to take advantage. But if they continue up, which they seem to be heading that direction still, seem to be pressure that way, then they're not going to get tagged on that. So they have a locked-in deal, and they basically can walk up and throw that chip on a house, and that seller goes, it's like a cash buyer.
Well, and beyond that, we guarantee up to $5,000 to the seller. If something happens with that borrower and it falls through, we'll guarantee to the seller $5,000, so they know that not only is that person pre-approved, but we back it with cash.
Okay, and so you can put that on. They can put that in their offer.
Yeah, you have to distinguish yourself away from the competition.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of cash buyers out there. There are a lot of investors out there just coming in and buying the market because they sold at one of those places in the country that people are running away from because of tax and other reasons, and now they have a bunch of money to spend, and they're coming in and buying up inventory in a lot of different markets.
Very good stuff. All right, so the moral of the story is the way you navigate this current weirdness is you go in with a plan, completely pre-certified, not just pre-approved, not
Right.
the old days, and you can lock your rates in, and then that gives you a chance. Then you have to use good common sense and not overpay and not get caught up in the bidding war and get all juiced up and then come in and go, oh, I paid too much for this house. Don't do that. We're not saying that. We're not saying go crazy, but there's a way to navigate this, and it's with really sharp tools.
With really sharp tools and preparation.